probabilistic tiny recursive models. So if you heard about these small hierarchical reasoning models that are beating 10,000 times larger models on these puzzles, so the small models that beat like GPT and Claude on these puzzles, like ARC-AGI maze and stuff. First we had a hierarchical reasoning model, then tiny recursive model, and now we have probabilistic tiny recursive model. So the idea here is basically the tiny recursive model, it's gonna deterministically just repeat, think, but the probabilistic one, it's gonna have some random noise and randomness added, so it's gonna try to explore different, like more ways of solving the problem, the puzzle. So basically it has same layer or same set of layers, and then it's gonna process the puzzle and loop it back through the same parameters, and it's gonna process even more and loop it back, process more and more. So it's just looping through the same parameters to try to solve the puzzle. That's the standard TRM, the previous version. Issue here would be, for example, if there is some wrong assumption or wrong step here, it continues working on top of that wrong step. So doesn't even explore other solutions as well. So let's compare that to probabilistic tiny recursive model. First of all, you see that instead of just one single path, it's gonna do multiple in parallel. So already going like multiple different routes. And then also on each of these like processing layers, each of these steps, they add a bit of random noise, like some random numbers to the weights, to the outputs and stuff. So this will allow a model to explore different ideas, different paths. Usually randomness is used in neural networks to let the neural network have more possibilities to explore different ideas. You see that they also have this Q head that's gonna select the final answer out of all of these parallel answers. So even if 92% of rollouts get stuck and fail, a few may succeed, and then this head will select the best one. Of course, if you are doing more compute in more of these in parallel, you need more compute, right, than just one. However, this new method unlocks this possibility to trade more compute for better results, which is actually what we want to do. Trading more compute for better results. This is what we do in LLMs as well. We just figure out how to put in more compute to get more intelligence. So here we have two concepts of depth scaling and width scaling. Depth scaling is you can actually just continue putting the puzzle through this layer, looping even more than what it trained on. So this is one of the things here is you can basically decide if it's harder puzzle to loop it more, even if no matter how, like if it didn't train for that many loops. And we also have now width scaling, and they say that, I mean, here we can see in the summary, the idea is that the more you scale width, the higher probability that one of those will be correct. But even if one of the paths finds correct answer, you need to have your head that selects the correct answer be robust. And they show here that it's actually robust. So the blue line shows just if any of the paths found correct answer. And then the orange line shows if their model, the head, is able to find it. Because we want the head to be able to find the correct answer. It's not enough that the correct answer exists. We still need to like have the model automatically find which is the correct answer. And this graph shows that it's pretty robust and pretty good at finding which of the paths gave correct answer. And you can see this third graph, mode at K. This is basically majority voting. So this is selecting the path that most rollouts give. The problem here is that most rollouts are wrong, especially if the task is difficult. one of the rollouts will be correct and it will be rare. So you cannot just do majority voting. You need to have a specialized head that's gonna look at rollouts and pick the correct one. Let's see the algorithm here. So if usually AIs are gonna just enter a maze and try to like wander around. So if they make an error, they're gonna build on top of this error. The idea here, instead of one agent or one AI entering the maze, they send like 100 of them, and then each of them is gonna have a bit of random nudge, like a stochastic rollouts, a bit of randomness trying to explore the maze. Here we have some initialization of the scratchpad, which is like just, for example, torch is zeros. It's used for thinking. We'll see later how. Just remember, Z is for thinking and Y is the answer. So Z is the scratchpad for thinking, Y is the answer tensor. So you see X would be the input. It's just like the input information of the puzzle. Y is gonna be the answer to the puzzle, and Z would be just like some kind of tensor that's gonna be later added. You see, later we're gonna add input, the answer, and the Z, and then Z is kind of gonna influence this whole product. The idea is that Z is gonna be like some kind of thinking, like it's gonna influence the product, which is kind of thinking, how it changes this sum. It's gonna influence the thinking. Here is a simpler step-by-step explanation. So Z is a vector that's just gonna be some hidden mental nodes, and Y is the actual answer, and then Z is gonna get added to Y to influence the answer. It's also gonna get added to the input. So Z is like something that influences the answer, that tries to get the output better. And you see here how we have this recursive block. So this is gonna run this recursive block of neural network layers with the input, the previous internal state nodes, and the previous answer, in order to get the next answer based on this. So the new answer and internal state based on the new input. So Y is the actual guess of, let's say, Sudoku answers. It may be just a 10 by 10 grid, like just maybe 100 number vector. And Z is a lot bigger vector, where AI fills it with abstract information that AI is gonna use to figure things out. For example, tracking constraints, rows, columns, chains of logic. It's a lot bigger, like abstract information that's gonna be used to get the better Y answer. So when we are combining them, they are not added directly to each other. Instead, there are some weights that multiply X, some other ways that multiply Y, some other ways that multiply Z, and then that's how the information is combined. You see how sometimes it's gonna search for solution, and suddenly gonna find it, and boom, it just jumps, and the correct solution is there. If you wanna write papers, you can check the school here. So we're gonna teach all of the AI research. You have the courses here, and every week we have a live that you can check. You can join the live and write papers. We have different tracks like pre-training, post-training, reinforcement learning, VLA, robotics, everything, whatever you wanna research. So check it below the video, and see you in the next one.